Back on Get Up, today's wake-up call. LeBron James going for $50K. Here's the Lakers announcer, Bill McDonald.
LeBron, open three! 22 seasons, 40 years of age. LeBron James, 50,002 points.
So the key word in that was 40 years of age. Here's the bottom line. LeBron James is doing things at the age of 40 that have seldom, if ever, been seen before. And so today's green list is going to be the 5 greatest seasons that any team athletes have had at the age of 40 or older. Here we go. At number 5, Tom Brady. In 2021, he led the NFL in passing yards and in touchdowns. He was the oldest player ever to do so. He finished second in the MVP voting, and he led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 13-win regular season. That's 2021 Tom Brady. Keep in mind, we will hear his name again. At number 4, Randy Johnson in 2004. Led baseball with 290 strikeouts. He threw a perfect game on May 18th. He finished runner-up for the National League Cy Young. At the age of 40, 2004, Randy Johnson, that's number 4. We'll stay with baseball for number 3. Big Papi, David Ortiz in 2016. Led Major League Baseball in doubles, in slugging, and in OPS. He led the Red Sox to 93 wins in the regular season. He finished 6th in the American League MVP voting. Big Papi comes in at number 3. At number 2, Gordie Howe. The oldest player in history with a 40-goal season, the oldest player in history with a 100-point season. He finished 3rd in the NHL that year with 103 points, finished 5th in the MVP voting. The ageless one, Gordie Howe, is at number 2. And at number 1, we go back to Brady. In 2017, at the age of 40, Tom Brady was the MVP of the league. He led the NFL in passing yards, he led the Patriots to the Super Bowl, and he probably played the greatest game any quarterback ever did in the Super Bowl, despite the fact that his team lost. He threw for 505 yards, 0 interceptions. His team never punted, and yet they lost the game. So Brady is on the list twice. Brady is number 1, Brady is number 5, Gordie Howe, Randy Johnson, and David Ortiz. The question is, where will LeBron's season fit into all of this? He has been 40 years old since December 30th. Since that time, he's averaging over 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. That is at least as good, if not better, than the last time he was named MVP, which ridiculously came when he was 28 years old with the Miami Heat. We can have an entirely different conversation about MVP voting and the idea that LeBron has been the best player in the sport pretty much every year since then. Hasn't won MVP in well over a decade, but let's not do that. Let's start by, as we put these all together, figuring out where do we believe when it's all said and done. I didn't put LeBron on this list because his season's not done. We have to wait and see what he achieves. Brady wound up in the Super Bowl on both of the occasions that I pointed out with him. Where do we think LeBron is headed on a list like that?
Well, we have to talk about the sports. Basketball, you have to play both ends. I don't think David Ortiz was playing the field.
Right. No, he was a designated hitter.
I mean, Brady was brilliant, and that's the standard you're going against, right? Not even just the age 40 here, but how much longer LeBron goes.
Right.
The LeBron-Brady thing is going to be a thing going forward. Mm-hmm. But he's still only in half the game.
Yeah.
Corey, how many minutes does a hockey player play on an average night?
I have no idea.
He plays a lot.
I just watch.
Let's not diminish.
But he's skating.
I don't
he's
think anyone is diminishing
too.
the amount of athleticism involved. So I did try and take that into account. Here's the bottom line of it is, I don't think it is for me when I'm making a list like that to try and gauge, well, this is harder to do at the age of 40 than this is harder to do. I just took the age of 40 and decided who had the best seasons.
Fair.
Because who am I to say it's harder to do what he's doing than what Randy Johnson did or what Gordie Howe did? At the age of 40, LeBron James remains at or near the list, the top of the list of the best players in his sport. It is an extraordinarily athletically demanding sport, but so is football. I mean, Tom Brady's getting the crap kicked out of him.
Brady leading the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl championship and shoving it up the Patriots' backside is the gold standard for over 40-year-old athletes.
And that season isn't even on the list.
I understand. But I mean, that's what LeBron would love to.
He had 2 other seasons that we deemed better than than that. I, in fact, could have put a third Brady season on there, but I just thought we would get repetitive. Frankly, Tom Brady is the gold standard for 40-plus in team sports. LeBron James may be the beginning here. This may be the beginning of him rewriting that narrative. McNutt.
Well, there's two things that will go into account when we go back to this list, right? One, how does this season play out for the Lakers, right? And then I think how many more seasons does LeBron have? And so both of those, to me, add to his case to be on. I mean, he would obviously be on the list, but both can add to his case in different ways. The championship, you got it. I mean, come on now, 22
But this,
years.
yeah, we're talking about this season at the age of 40 versus those seasons. If he leads this team to the NBA Finals, again, I don't think anyone saw that coming. If he leads this season to the NBA Finals, we will have to consider putting it first.
Yeah, you would. It would be on
Leads
par.
or wins?
I think if they make the finals, I mean,
The Western, I mean, they're right now facing potentially having to play Steph in the first round, Jokic in the second round, and the Thunder in the third round. Like, regardless of age, that's a murderer's row.
Look, if he wins the NBA title, I would.
If he wins the NBA title, it's nothing to talk
I would
about.
say, yeah, exactly. I would say, like, look, I think you do have to take into account some of the things that Wendy pointed out as far as the age that he is at right now and still the level of athleticism. Although, look, I'm never going to discount how hard it is to play quarterback in the National Football League. Okay, it's a whole different level of toughness, mental fortitude, all that stuff. But what LeBron is doing, just from a physical perspective, look, I know how I felt at 40. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel like that.
Right.
I didn't feel anything like that. And I'm in pretty good shape. I didn't feel anything like that. The way this man looks, he is doing extraordinary stuff. Extraordinary.
And it's getting easier for him because
Yeah.
of the arrival of Luka Doncic. Now he's getting the table set for him.
I mean, look at
that.
this
He's
stuff.
a receiver right here. He talked about having a great quarterback. So now he can save himself. We talk about LeBron sometimes saving himself on defense. Now he can be energized because he has a guy that can facilitate and be able to run the offense while LeBron can take time off.
There's an overused cliche where they say things like, how old would you think you were if you didn't know how old you were? Like, we can sort of spin that around. If you just watched LeBron James play basketball this season and no one told you how old he was, if you had no idea how old he was, how old would you think he was?
Good point. Definitely mid-30s, but he's arguably better now than he's been at any time with the Lakers. Maybe that first year or two, but he's playing at a level right now that I didn't know he still had.
I don't think anyone knew that he still had.
And quite honestly, look, I mean, see, this is why the conversation is so cool. See, Tom Brady's last year, or rather the Super Bowl run that he had in Tampa Bay, if you were just watching him that year, and you just watched him play, you'd be like, that guy's like 33.
Yeah.
30, 31, 32. So, I mean, these guys are in rarefied air. I mean, these guys are different. They're just different.
Brady was MVP of the league at the age of 40. Yeah. That was when he was still with the Patriots. Right. He then went to the Buccaneers. The season that they won the Super Bowl wasn't even on that list. It was the following year that he put up all of those monster numbers.
Remember, like 2 years ago, LeBron walked out at the end of the season going like, I don't know.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know.
Talking about retiring, right?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I don't think we're going to hear a lot of that. By the way, we got good basketball coming your way tonight.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.